Hi everyone. So the first tool that I'm going to be analyzing today is Edgy, which is a really cool annotation tool that I think will be really, really beneficial in my classroom. So how to access Edgy is through their website, and it's just edji.it. And Edgy is free, which is awesome because I love free resources. Sorry that my computer is really, really slow. So Edgy is free, and what's cool about Edgy is that you can upload texts on here. So like I'm in my created area right now, and I uploaded a text, so you can upload texts on here, and then they can be annotated by anybody who has access. So this code over here is Q355. So if you want to join a text, you actually just have to type in the code. So any of my students, if I uploaded a text and I wanted them to be able to get on it and annotate it, what they could do is they would just type in that code and then it would give them access to the text. So what I am going to be able to do, you can actually make different classes. So right now I have my classroom is Harry Potter themed. So my first period class is called Alchemy. So this is what they would see when they type in that Q355 code. So this is a text that I uploaded that I'd want them to read and then annotate. And what I really like about this is that it allows them to annotate with the use of emojis and text. So I know in both the Rice reading and the social presence model reading that they both talked about the use of emojis, and I actually read those after I chose this tool, so I was really excited to kind of see that idea reaffirmed. So on page 103 of Rice, she talks about using humor, expressing emotions, communicating informally, and asking questions, and that these are all strategies that can help you increase the sense of community in your classroom. And also says to let your personality shine through and encourage students to do the same by using humor and emoticons in your communication. So that's really awesome that this kind of allows you to do that. So these are just some areas that I already commented on or used my emojis on. So all you have to do is highlight, and then you can either use the text option and write some text, or you can highlight and do an emoji, and it gives you all kinds of different emojis, which is really, really cool. It looks basically like what you'd find on like an iPhone or an Android. So they can really comment in any way that they want. And it really makes it relevant to their style of interaction, which is cool. So then they can just put their emojis. And then over here, so I'm the owner, so I can see all of this stuff over here. So the tally shows me how many comments there are and who they're from, so I am the 4 commenters. And then this feed actually brings up all of the comments, what's been made and which areas have been highlighted, which is cool because the more students I get over here, the more frequently I can see the different areas of comments and emojis and all of that. And then this over here, which is off right now, this is called Heat Vision. And this Heat Vision is, if I turn it on, then anybody who's reading the text will be able to see all of the different comments that have been made. So that's pretty cool because if students having trouble understanding something, they can look at the comments in an area that is highlighted and they can read what's there, or I can turn it off and then only the owner can see it. So what else I like about this is that, so this is an essay, this is a sample essay from my class. It's just a sample thematic essay. If you have an account, you can upload pieces on here. So this is one that I uploaded. So my students, we do a lot of peer editing in my class. My students can actually upload their pieces on here, and then people can, like their classmates can go through and actually edit and make comments and make corrections anywhere. So like here, I realized that I was not making a whole lot of sense when I typed this this sentence. There are many examples in all summer in a day that prove this theme to be true, and I made a comment over here about what theme. I've never actually stated what the theme is, and I did up here, but it's not super clear. So they can comment on that and kind of help each other out and give that peer editing idea. So that's what I really like about this. As far as synchronous versus asynchronous in this tool, I think that this can be used as both. This is something, anytime I do peer editing, it's obviously happening synchronously because my students are doing it in class. Excuse me. My students are doing it in class, but they work independently on it, and then so they'll read through a piece first, they'll edit the piece, make some comments on it, and then they'll go back and they'll read through that piece with the person who they commented on and kind of talk about all of the different comments that they've made and the different edits that they've made. So this can definitely happen synchronously with students. They can have that communication after the editing is finished. It can also work asynchronously because they will have access to these anywhere because it's through a web browser. Anywhere that they have internet access, they have access to Edgy. So they can have access at home with their Chromebooks, they can have access at school, they can have access pretty much anywhere. So this could be something that could be an assignment that they do outside of class where they pick one of the pieces that are uploaded in our class and they can go through it, read through it, and make however many comments that I'd set for that assignment. So it can definitely work both synchronously and asynchronously. I wanted to make a comment as far as the emoticons go, because in the social presence model article, one of the students talked about how they didn't really feel like emotion was super necessary in class, but it was really nice to have. And they did comment about how they thought emoticons were a good way to do that because it doesn't like leave you vulnerable that you have to get super emotional and really super connected, but it does allow you to have something beyond words. So I thought that the use of emoticons here was really cool because I haven't seen a lot of different editing and annotating softwares that actually allow you to use the emoticon. So I was pretty excited to see that. I definitely think that this kind of covers that the teacher involvement or the instructor involvement area of the social presence model, because I have access to everything that they do on here. So I can read through the feed over here while they're working, and I can see who's doing what. So that kind of allows me to be involved without being engaged. So I can watch what they're doing and make sure they're on the right track without actually having to step on any toes and say, oh, you forgot to do blank. So I definitely think that that's there. And it really does give that interaction because they have to be able to communicate with their classmates about the comments that they've made, and that interaction that they have to have in order to really properly communicate about the comments that they've made. So I really like this tool, definitely something I would use.